And you are a person who needs no introduction, and come on up and talk me into why I should pay taxes for free education. Okay. Give a nice warm hand.
Okay. We've already heard a good, strong argument on the specific economics in terms of user fees versus socialized costs through a progressive taxation model. And in Ireland, Marion had mentioned Ireland before. In Ireland, they had actually gone in the direction of using this kind of a progressive taxation model as a driver for economic progress. And indeed, more and more people in Ireland in the past while have been educated under this under a system whereby it moved from user fees to socialized costs, and again, in terms of even measures such as gross domestic product, etc., Ireland has seen a real rebirth in terms of economic output. Scott had addressed earlier the issue of, again, upfront fees, that sticker shock alone is something which, even beyond, I guess, what could be called a rational decision-making process, keeps people from even entering into post-secondary education in the first place, and that comes from basically security concerns. If a person who, again, has a lower income and is faced with something like $5,000 per year of study, as it currently stands, and it could be more and it could be less, but with that as an upfront cost, so many people at that point would state that, you know what, I'm not willing to take that risk to enter into my first year of study or to go into a second year of study after having pursued it first, without, again, the idea that there can be a return on an individual user's investment into their own education. And the effects that this has had in particular have been very much to skew the type of study that people end up pursuing. It might make sense for some people to then pursue, for instance, a degree in business administration or computing science or engineering. These areas which have, again, had a very high personal return on an investment into education. At the same point, studies in things such as First Nations studies, women's studies, typically any word that has studies, environmental studies. We're in spec building. These are areas where there may not actually be the market in the job world for people to be able to make back a user fee based on these things. And so one very particular social outcome that has come out of government policy decisions is that what ends up being studied and what Canada ends up producing as its specialists and as its experts is very much different from what it would end up being if again, we moved away from a user fee model.
If you can change your vote when you change your mind, that is what democracy is all about. Now polling.ca.
Perpetual democracy doesn't mean that you have to vote every day. It just means that you have the right and the ability to vote anytime you want. And that is what perpetual democracy is all about.